Welcome y'all to another broadcast of Dream Views, and today the topic is Tom Brady. Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady. Whew. Y'all probably seen a few of my videos with me celebrating him coming in to the Super Bowl for his 10th appearance. Just ecstatic that I can watch a Super Bowl with what most people now are finally realizing, if they haven't already, the GOAT. Now, the only question is, what type of GOAT is he? And what I mean by that is, are you just the GOAT of football? Are you the GOAT of quarterbacks? Are you the GOAT of athletes? Are you the GOAT of all team sports players who have ever lived? There's some true debates, and I want to go into that with you guys today on why he is the GOAT. Why I've been saying he's the GOAT. Why he's been my favorite player since 2001. So, again, I'm going to make a video on why I fell in love with Kevin Durant. I think I did a video on Kevin Durant versus LeBron. Make sure y'all check that one out. I'm also going to make a video why I fell in love with Tom Brady. Before Kevin Durant, it was Kobe Bryant and then Michael Jordan. Before Tom Brady, there was no other player. I wasn't really into football. Didn't really like football. Wasn't really my thing. My parents put me into football when I was younger, and that's when I started kind of watching it, understanding how things work, and fell in love with Tom Brady. Like I said, I'll do a video separate for that. But I've been calling him the best player all my life. First, I was a little immature with it because I really didn't know football. So I'm just going off the fact that he just won and wins. And then eventually, as time goes on, he starts playing better. Season starts coming and going. It becomes very clear that I was right. So the very first thing I want to go over with you guys is my favorite number, which is number 7. 7 has always been my favorite number. And I've always said Tom Brady will win 7 Super Bowls. 7 Super Bowls. I said that in 2001. I was 11, 12 years old at that time. I was in 6th, 7th grade at that time. He's going to be the first player to get 7 championships, which at that time, unrealistic, unattainable. Best they've ever seen was Joe Montana. Joe Montana has 4 championships. All the other quarterbacks at most have all had 4 championships. I think there was a player that has 5 championships, wasn't a quarterback. So this was unheard of. So number 7 was my favorite. I've always vouched for 7. I never vouched for 8, never vouched for 9, which don't seem too far-fetched. All right, so Tom Brady has more championships, Super Bowl championships, than any team in the NFL. Let me say that again. Tom Brady, an individual player, has more championships than any team in the NFL. The 2 teams with the most championships are the Pittsburgh Steelers with 6 championships. 4 of them came from Terry Bradshaw, 2 came from Ben Roethlisberger. The other team with 6 championships are the New England Patriots, which Tom Brady played for and delivered those championships. So those are your championships. Those are your 6 Super Bowl team champions. Then you got 5 Super Bowls for one team, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm almost positive the Cowboys as well also have 5 championships. So one quarterback, one player, has accumulated over his career 7 championships, more than any other franchise in the NFL. Another thing I want to go over with you guys is Tom Brady has 10 Super Bowl appearances. 10 Super Bowl appearances. All of these are records, by the way. 10 Super Bowl appearances. No player has ever reached 10 Super Bowls. He has appeared in 10. Close second, which is a distant second, is 5 Super Bowl appearances by a quarterback. And that was Elway, who only won 2 of those 5, to put that into perspective, as a starting quarterback. Tom Brady has 10. 10. Tom Brady has won a Super Bowl in 3 separate decades. Let me repeat that. In 3 separate decades, Tom Brady has won a Super Bowl. In 2001, as you guys can see here, Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl, beating the MVP of the league at the time, Kurt Warner. That's putting that into perspective. 10 appearances. 3 decades long in time periods that he has spent winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. Jesus Christ. You won a championship in 3 separate decades? The 2000s, the 2010s, and now the 2020s. What is going on, man? GOAT. That's all you can say is GOAT. That's all you can say is GOAT. Let's put another tabloid out there for you guys. Another nugget for you guys when it comes to my man Tom Brady. All right? Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowl championships. This is, as of today, February, I believe, 7th, 8th, February 8th. It is pretty much known Drew Brees retired. He is retiring. He hasn't officially announced retirement. I think he's doing that in respect of Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl. It's kind of letting him get the fame and the attention and the glory. But it's pretty known that Drew Brees is pretty much going to retire. So I'm going to give you from one perspective. He's retired. If he's retired, of every team in the NFL, all 32, take Tom Brady out of it, 31, add all of the starting quarterbacks up and their Super Bowls that they have, Tom Brady has just as much. And if Drew Brees does not retire, and if you want to say he's currently active, because he certainly is, he has 1 less than every starting quarterback has combined. Pat Mahomes has 1. Drew Brees has 1. Aaron Rodgers has 1. You also have Russell Wilson. He has 1. Then you have double digit guys like Ben Roethlisberger. He has 2. We're at 8 just off of those guys. I'm sorry, we're at 6 just off of those guys alone. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. We at some point, the facts are just the facts. The truth is just the truth. The guy's a monster. He has lapped the field en route to getting to the championship this year. He chose a team where they were going to be hosting, that city was going to be hosting the Super Bowl, and accomplished something has never been done. played a home Super Bowl game. Has never been done. He does it his first year. In addition to that, he gets his ass kicked by the Saints. Not once, but twice. He has to go to get a championship. He has to go to Washington, who has a bomb defense. He walks out there. No big deal. Now here's where the magic happens, because he's on the road all the way home. He stops by and says, okay, let's go visit Drew Brees for the third time. After getting my ass spanked twice, he returns the favor and beats a Super Bowl MVP quarterback in Drew Brees. A bona fide Hall of Famer, first ballot, no debates. And who has, if not all, most of all the quarterback stats. Touchdowns, yards. He has them all. He beats him in his own stadium, in Drew Brees' stadium. Then you go to the final game before you hit to the Super Bowl, and that's going through Aaron Rodgers, who won MVP this year. I believe at this point has now earned himself 3 MVPs and is a Super Bowl MVP quarterback. Now he is going to 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks, and one of them just won the MVP this year. Who has begged for a home game to be played for the AFC Championship. And he gets a visit from them. NFC Championship. And he gets a visit from them. And what happens? He takes an L. He asked for this. He gets an L. Tom Brady beats him. And to raise the Lombardi trophy, he has to beat who most people are saying is the greatest quarterback of now. Not ever, of now. Who they also said what Aaron Rodgers was, by the way. And who some people say neck and neck with Aaron Rodgers as of the best quarterbacks right now. Who some say have the best quarterback talents of all time. Who said they're the best thrower of the football they've ever seen. That's what they say about Aaron Rodgers as well, by the way. He beats this youngster who people are saying has started the best quarterback career of all time. Remember, his first full season, he wins an MVP and is 1 game away from the Super Bowl, if not for an offsides penalty. The second year, goes and wins a Super Bowl, which he did not play well. Just being honest, he didn't. But he won the Super Bowl and he got the Super Bowl MVP from it. And in his third year, he repeats a trip to the Super Bowl to face the true GOAT and gets his ass whooped. Everybody would tell you Pat Mahomes is a Hall of Famer, and if not, is on the way to being a Hall of Famer. But guarantee you right now, all 3 of those people all have one thing in common. They are all Super Bowl MVP quarterbacks. Tom Brady beat them all. Who did Pat Mahomes beat to get to the championship game? I'll wait. Y'all let me know. And that's my point. He took the hardest road. Had to win 3 games. Not 2. Had to win 3 games. No bye week. They said he has never won a Super Bowl without a bye week. He accomplished that today. Or yesterday. He has accomplished that. They say he can never win a Super Bowl without a bye week. He does that. And en route, beats 3 Super Bowl MVP quarterbacks. It's a disgrace that Drew Brees has never won an MVP. A disgrace. But he has beaten 2 people who are MVPs, one of them right now. He's beaten 2 of the MVPs in the last 3 seasons. 2 of the MVPs of the last 3 seasons. To get to that Lombardi trophy and raise it. What are we talking about, folks? What are we talking about? What are we debating here? Let me put another point out there. Tom Brady has more Super Bowl MVPs than Joe Montana has championships. Goddamn. Goddamn. The one who was the original GOAT, Joe Montana, has 4 Super Bowl appearances. 4 Super Bowl championships. He is 4-0. Tom Brady laps him in appearances, and he outshines him in just MVP awards. Then he has championships. Tom Brady now has 5 MVPs from the Super Bowl. He's a 5-time Super Bowl MVP. Joe Montana has won the Super Bowl 4 times. The gap is enormous. Let's take this back. Let's go ahead now. Let's take this back to 2001. Joe Bledsoe gets knocked out of the game. The Patriots starts the season that year 0-2. 0-2. And they only lose 3 more games for the rest of the year with Tom Brady in the helms. They go 11-5. And as you guys already know, they go against the greatest show on turf, which at that time was the greatest offense. Bill Belichick absolutely deserves the credit for stopping that defense. Tom Brady absolutely deserves the credit for being the quarterback to quarterback their games in the playoff and in the Super Bowl. Game-winning drives to win that Super Bowl that year. Now, what do people use to tarnish his name? The Tuck Rule, the Tuck Rule, the Tuck Rule. I am here to be the first as a Tom Brady supporter and advocate, but I'm a realist. I've always been a realist. Absolutely right. Everyone's absolutely right. Everyone is absolutely right. I think it was a BS call. I 100% am on that side of the fence. That doesn't change the fact that it still was a call. Because I still think something else is going to be BS, which I'm going to get into soon. So I got to be consistent with it. All right? Consistency. I had read somewhere that some of the, because you guys know during the Super Bowl, there's famous for 2 things, right? The commercials and the halftime performances. The commercials being played at that time were for Radio Shack. Just put that Radio Shack. What else we had back in those days? You had commercials for Blockbuster, Circus City. I mean, we're talking some big box retail stores that were big players back in those days. All bankrupt, all done with. Tom Brady has outlasted from that moment on to here. Just look at some of the commercials from 2001. Life in 2001. Again, I was a middle school kid at that time. Now we're going to fast forward to, if you can get on here, 04. Now, Peyton Manning wins MVP. Rookie, look at that. The rookie offensive player of the year was Ben Roethlisberger. Think about this real quick. I'm almost positive Peyton Manning started the season in 2001. 2000 or 2001. Second choice was Ryan Leaf that year. He has outlasted him. And if you guys remember how Peyton Manning won his second Super Bowl, he didn't win his second Super Bowl. He was in attendance. He showed up. He had a uniform on. He did not do jack in that Super Bowl. Jack. The defense scored more than the offense in that game, and the defense scored enough to outdo Cam Newton and his offense. Just the defense alone, with no input from Peyton Manning alone. The defense alone outscored the Panthers. Who, by the way, Cam Newton was the MVP that year. I don't know if being MVP is like a curse for not winning championships. I'm starting to kind of get that vibe here. But they go 14-2 that year. And they win Tom Brady wins his second Super Bowl. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was the year, because I live in Philadelphia area. I want to say the Eagles were like 8-0 that year. And who would have thought Andy Reid would be a crux in Tom Brady, or the Eagles, but the Eagles and Andy Reid comes up again in Tom Brady's life. But they beat them. I think that was the T.O. game where he played with a broken leg and still caught for 100-some yards. I mean, T.O. was a beast. T.O. was a beast. I know it's not a T.O. session, but God, T.O. is a beast. Just a beast. That's all I can say. He's a beast. 2005, he gets back-to-back Super Bowls. Back-to-back. Has not been done ever since. That was the last time it was done. I think prior to them, back-to-back was Elway. So Elway, and then Tom Brady comes in and say, move over, Elway. We're going to go ahead and win some back-to-back championships ourselves. All right? So that's the accomplishment that he does. He still has that on his crotch. So do you can add that to a list, add that to our list of all the things that he has accomplished. He's the most recent back-to-back winning quarterback for the Super Bowl and championships. Just put that out there. I'm just putting that out there. Then my favorite season, which is also my graduating year season, and I know it didn't end the way I wanted it to. It absolutely did not. But he is one of the only players that can say, and the QBs that can say, I had undefeated regular season. Pat Mahomes lost one game this year, 15-1. Aaron Rodgers also went 15-1 the year after he won the Super Bowl. I believe Cam Newton, the year that he won the MVP, also went 15-1. This guy, or maybe 14-2, I got to check. But Tom Brady went 16-0 and lost in the Super Bowl in a BS ending of a Super Bowl. The biggest heartbreak of my life. I was ecstatic. I was graduating that year. I was a senior in high school. I was 07 is but you put that on the list. Undefeated season. These are just things you can just keep adding to the list here. Just keep adding this to his list of accomplishments on why he is the greatest of all time. All right. Now, I want to skip all the way because he does win another Super Bowl. We already know. But I want to skip to a certain year. And the year I want to skip to is 2014. I'm not going to go over every single year with you guys. But I want to go to 2014. And the reason why I want to go to this year for it, why it's important to me, because look who the MVP is. Aaron Rodgers. Look who the Super Bowl champ is. So, why is this important for? Because this goes into my argument of what I'm about to make for another reason why Tom Brady is the GOAT. Tom Brady has been in the league for 21 years. He is now, just in the time of the spirit that he spent playing football, he could now drink liquor. He now can have a liquor. He's now old enough to purchase liquor. 21 years in the league. So if you divided his years evenly that he's been in the league, I'm not going to divide him in half. You could divide him into thirds, because I say he played 3 decades. So let's divide it to 3 separate portions, so 3 7-year periods. In 3 7-year periods, he has had a first ballot Hall of Fame career 3 separate times. First 3 years. Very similar to Troy Aikman's. Meaning, it's 5 division titles, 3 Super Bowl titles, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Although he does not finish with a regular season MVP, Drew Brees, he still wins 2 Super Bowl MVPs, wins 3 championships, 5 division titles in 7 years. His first 7 years. Ah, man. That's a Hall of Famer. Some people are arguing as we speak, which I think is nonsense. Nonsense. Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. BS. No. You hadn't even appeared at a Super Bowl. No. Sorry. But let's get to the next set. Then let's go to this next 7 years, which is, again, a Hall of Fame year. Let me tell you what happens in this year. These 7 years remind me of Dan Marino. He gets 6 division titles, 2 Super Bowl appearances. He wins 2 regular season MVPs. He's the passing leader for touchdowns for 2 years. And in that 7 years, he has an undefeated season. That's the Dan Marino or the Peyton Manning seasons time period. And then his last 7 years. You can call that the Joe Montana, who some people had as the GOAT prior to Tom Brady. He has 4 Super Bowl titles. So he wins 4 Super Bowls. 3 Super Bowl MVPs and a regular season MVP. In that time period, he also wins at least 4 division titles. Folks, if you just divided his career into thirds, each set of thirds is a Hall of Famer. 2 are first ballot for sure. The middle is debatable first ballot, but guaranteed Hall of Famer. And in my opinion, a first ballot Hall of Famer. And in most people's opinions, would be a first ballot Hall of Famer, because that's more than what Dan Marino could accomplish, and his numbers are similar to Dan Marino's. That's dividing his career into thirds. There have been people that saying he's going to fall off a cliff. Max Kellerman famously said that. That was 5 years ago. And has won 3 Super Bowls since then. Come on, folks. Come on, guys. Sometimes you don't even know if you can even debate the non-debatable. Like, will we... All right. What did we do this year? You took a team that won 7 games last year. You took a team that has not been to the playoffs in over a decade, was the losingest franchise in all pro sports, in all American pro sports. That includes basketball, football, baseball, hockey. This team is the losingest of all of them, of all time. I had to go and do my research on that, because I said, the Cleveland Browns make a pretty good argument and fight for that, and they do. I said the Detroit Lions shouldn't be far behind, and they weren't. But somehow Tampa Bay was worse. I was baffled. But yeah. And win percentage is true. Tom Brady goes there. Not only does he carry a team in the locker room in the offensive side, But he gets into the ass of the defensive side. He puts a culture out there to help everyone understand the importance of self-discipline and not beating yourselves. First couple games, the penalties that we saw, sloppy plays that we saw, all that was fixed up. And by Super Bowl, they held a team to not scoring a single touchdown. I don't care what nobody says, and I'm the biggest Tom Brady supporter there is. Nobody's more supportive of Tom Brady than me. Nobody can say they saw Pat Mahomes not scoring a touchdown. A single touchdown? He has not played a game where he did not score a single touchdown since high school. This is the biggest margin of a loss for Pat Mahomes in his entire football career. You have to go back to his high school days to find a bigger one. There's no debate here that this past Super Bowl, Todd Bowles deserves the team's MVP. And if you can give it to a coach, he absolutely should and would deserve it. If you cannot give it to the whole defense, which I know is impossible, because there's so many different players on there that deserve it, but you can't single out one crucial defensive player because it was such a team defense. It had to go to Tom Brady, and I understood that. And it was well-deserved, 21 for 29. That's his highest completion percentage in the Super Bowl. And I believe it's a record as well for the highest completion in the Super Bowl. That's his highest victory margin ever in the Super Bowl. All his Super Bowls have been relatively close, one-score games. The only one I believe was the last one he won with the Rams. And that one was because of some, missed field goals and things like that. The last couple minutes of the game. This is... You what he did with AB, bringing him in into his house, giving him the environment, the culture, the tutorship to just be a better person and a strong and honestly a great player and non-selfish player on the field. Baffled. Just, I'm mind blown. I'm mind fucked by all this. Age 43 years old. This guy is he's just the greatest player of all times. So, is he the greatest team player of all time? Of team sports of all time? To me, well, let's go over the top 5. Right? Let's go over the top 5. No, let's go over the top 3. Top 5 is a lot. Let's go over the top 3. I think that you got Tom Brady, obviously. You have your Michael Jordan. The question is, who's that third person that you could debate on? Some people would say LeBron. Some people would say Kareem. Some people would say Bill Russell. So, because for modern times, I'm going to go with Kareem for that third place. Why? I think LeBron is top 5, maybe. But the reason why I will go for Kareem is because he's done it on every single level he's been in, where some of these other players have not. That includes Tom Brady. That includes Michael Jordan. Even though he did win a national championship in college, I'm not sure if he won anything in high school. I got to check for Michael Jordan. But we know for a fact Kareem, he was a beast everywhere he was at. So I'm going to give it to Kareem on this one. So, where does Tom Brady compare to those two? I believe Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete of all times. I don't think it's debatable. As far as team sports goes, I can't speak on individual sports. I can only speak on the team sport level. In basketball, the cardio is not like soccer's, but next tier under that, the athleticism you need to jump, to dribble and move, and the finesse that you need for aerial assaults, for layups and such of that nature, and to do that on a constant basis on the offensive and defensive side. I think it does take a little bit more athleticism to play basketball on a more consistent level. I have seen football players who were absolutely way more athletic than basketball players. I've seen basketball players who were way more athletic than football players. Depends on the position, depends on what you're asking them to do. So to me, they kind of wash depending on, again, like I think a center is just as athletic as a quarterback, right? So I know that sounds like it's like, wait, they don't even, but if you think about it, they kind of are. I mean, they can run if you need them to run, kind of stationary. They're just good for one thing, banging and dunking, right? So throwing and dodging. So it's kind of, to me, they're about the same in athleticism. I think all the other skill players are probably equally athletic as some of the basketball players are in other positions, like point guard and such. I would say that the reason why I would not give it to Michael Jordan is because I have seen Tom Brady now, because we didn't do it before, do it with two separate coaches. And for Michael Jordan, he never had the opportunity prior to Phil Jackson. And I don't, the Washington years is, I don't know. Whoever brings that up is just looking for a reason not to pick Michael Jordan. So he had years prior to that though. And I can't gloss over that. And you didn't do anything with that. So for that alone, you're eliminated. So then you got Kareem. Kareem has done it with several different coaches, which goes in his favor, on several different teams, which goes in his favor. He did it with the Milwaukee Bucks and he did it with the LA Lakers. So now it comes down to, what do you bring to the table that makes you stand out and makes you a winner regardless of the attributes around you? Meaning, LeBron, some people say, well, no matter where he goes, he wins. This is false, because his first year in the Lakers, he didn't go anywhere, did not make the playoffs, even though he was activating playoff mode. That counts. Never, so it didn't happen there. I'm sorry, bro. It didn't happen. You can't do it with anybody. So clearly you need certain players around you, which is okay. But in the league where over 50% of the teams make it, and you don't make it, it says a lot about you. So then I look at Kareem. His first year with the Lakers, they did not make the playoffs. They didn't really make much noise until they acquired Magic Johnson. And because of that, and I think then they get Byron Scott. So because of that, I have to put that into the category. And then when he was in Milwaukee, he did have all-star players with them. I'm not holding that against him. But what I am saying is that LA teams, you couldn't make the playoffs. Had you made the playoffs, we can have a conversation, but you didn't. So Tom Brady always makes the playoffs, regardless of the team, almost regardless of the situations. If he's playing a full season, he's making the playoffs. And that's exactly what he proves. But not only is he making the playoffs, he's probably making the Super Bowl. To put this into perspective, to some people, they believe, as of right now, I don't believe so. Everyone knows I'm a Kevin Durant fan. Some people believe that LeBron is the best player in the league right now and of all times. His free throw shooting percentage is 71%. Free throws, which means they let you sit there and you shoot, no obstacles in the way, no nothing. They're free throws. You just shoot. Go ahead. He's a 71% shooting right now from the field for free throws right now. Tom Brady winning percentage is 75% in the playoffs, meaning it is more likely for Tom Brady to win a playoff game than it is for LeBron James to make a free throw. What are we talking about, folks? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Let's look this up. What are we talking about? It's not debatable anymore. It's not debatable anymore. So, I want to know what you guys think. Yeah, 71%. I want to know what you guys think. Please like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you guys think. But I think that the debate is over. We already knew he was the GOAT. We already knew he was the best QB of all times. Not the most athletic or the one with the most accomplished. No, he's just the best. Period. No extra verbiage behind that. Not the most accomplished. That's trying to undermine what he has done. What he has done is, yes, accomplished a lot, but he did it through pure talent and pure scoring. Last time I checked, the objective is to get the ball from point A to point B. You don't get style points for that. All right, so I don't care how stylish Aaron Rodgers is doing it or Pat Mahomes is doing it. This guy does it at a higher clip and more successfully and wins games doing it. Period. Period. It's just the way it works. He is the greatest of all time in all sports. All sports. Let me know if you disagree. Like, subscribe, and comment. Dreams Views.